after the Earth exploded, Namek wished us back. Namek rules.
What is that sound? What beast does this land harbor? Timothy!
Today we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite anime characters. And if you remember from my first review, I talked about my top 10 favorite animes. Now it's time to look at the characters from that review. Starting with number 10, Creed Diskins from Black Cat. Now a lot of people are probably asking, why Creed Diskins of all characters? He was the greatest villain throughout the series. And at some points I do like his psychotic attitude. But the big deal for me was Creed gay. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I'm not going to ask him. Creed was psychotic. He was evil. And he loved power. And also on top of that, he was a quick runoff on Sephiroth. Going from raging psychotic to overly obsessive over the main character. Creed is one of the many reasons I kept coming back for more on Black Cat. Number 9. Naruto. Just kidding. Rock Lee from Naruto. A lot of people are wondering, why Lee? Isn't he another Bruce Lee adaptation?
Go Lee!
Yeah, that's right. Lee. He's another Bruce Lee adaptation, yeah. But he is one of the few Bruce Lee adaptations that got his own awesome character. Within the series, Lee was bullied, pushed around, and he only knew taijutsu, the physical ability to fighting. He didn't know any nin or genjutsu through the series. He was a hard worker and he always pushed himself to the limit. My favorite fight that he ever had, actually my favorite fight through the series, is where Lee fights Gaara. And he shows his true skills throughout the entire fight, going from the original primary Lotus move to the reverse Lotus. Lee is definitely one of the best characters when coming into determination, hard work, and he's definitely the character that shows hard work pays off better than gifted talents. Lee is yet one of the many reasons I kept coming back to Naruto. Number 8. Elder Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho. That's Elder Toguro. Not the younger, muscular Toguro. Elder Toguro. Now, people are going to ask me, why? Why not Hiei? Why not Kurama? They're okay characters. Hiei is actually my second favorite character throughout the series, but Elder Toguro is known for coming back for more in the villain scale. In fact, he makes an appearance about 3 times as a villain. The guy can stretch himself, he can get pulled into many pieces, and just keep regenerating and coming back for more. In fact, in one scene he says that you can only kill him if you pierce his heart or his brain. But his younger brother tore him into little pieces, and Kuwabara, in my favorite fight of the series, smashed him like a fly swatter and it still didn't kill him. In fact, he's still not dead. He's hanging on the sinning tree that Kurama left him on. And he's still there. This guy ain't gonna die. He's the best character out of Yu Yu Hakusho and probably the best villain. Elder Toguro keeps me coming back for more and he scares the shit out of me. Alright, number 7, Wu Fei Chang from Gundam Wing. Now a lot of people like the other characters, like Hiro, Zex Marquise, and the other characters from Gundam Wing. Me, I'm a big Wu Fei fan. He was a lot different than the other pilots. Everyone says he's a lot like the other pilots, but Wu Fei loved to fight. He loved challenges, and I really didn't start liking his character until Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the movie of Gundam Wing. It was definitely one of his best moments. He turned against his 5 comrades just to keep fighting. Now, one of the reasons I like Wu Fei is he's voiced by one of the best voice actors that I know, Ted Cole. Wu Fei is definitely threatening. He is a badass character, and a lot of people wouldn't want to pick a fight with him. He pilots the Shenlong Gundam, and he's always ready for battle. Hoozah is one of the main reasons I kept watching Gundam Wing. And that's my thing. Number 6, Masataka Takeyanagi from Tenjo Tenge. Now, for once, I picked a character that is voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. Now, I have a story behind this, and it's going to be kind of a long one. I went to an anime con a few years ago, and Johnny Young Bosch went up to me, and he asked me, what is his favorite role, what is my favorite role that he has ever played? And I pretty much said, all your voices sound the same. I'm sorry, they all sound the same. And he wouldn't leave me alone. So, I said, just to get him to leave me alone, I said, I guess I like Vash the Stampede. He goes up to me and he does the Vash the Stampede laugh, and he walks away. Okay, now that that silly story's out of the way, back to number 6. I kind of lied to Johnny Young Bosch. This is my favorite role that he played. Why? Well, Takeyanagi is kind of a perfect voice for him. You know, he looks like a wimp, but he's actually intimidating. Hell, he is the strongest character in the series, even. Even his brother, who was supposed to be the main villain of the show, Mitsuomi, says that the fight was already over when you picked Masataka as your opponent. He was a brutal badass from start to finish of the series. The only problem I have with him, with the entire series, in fact, is Takeyanagi is only in like 5 or 6 episodes. He didn't have enough length time for him. Mainly because Tenjo Tenge told the whole story in flashbacks, and he wasn't in a single flashback. So, yeah, Masataka is the most badass character on the show and didn't have enough screen time. And he was one of the many reasons I kept hanging on to Tenjo Tenge. Number 5. Now, before I get to number 5, I gotta say something about Trigun. There are 2 characters, and it was very hard for me to pick between one or the other. The 2 were Legato Blue Summers from Trigun, and the other one was Nicholas D. Wolfwood. I ultimately went with Wolfwood in this one. Wolfwood is a preacher that accompanied Vash through the entire series. All the way leading up to, and if you don't want to know what happens, just skip this part. Leading up to...
Put an annotation right there.
Anyway, skip the part. Leading up to his death. Wolfwood was... back in the series, I didn't really like Wolfwood. He started out as kind of a comedic relief character, but by the end of the series, he started out as a badass. He was a preacher from a far-off land that owned an orphanage. He also claimed that he never fired a gun before. Well, by the middle of the series, we know that's bullshit. He could kill, and he wasn't ashamed to kill. For some reason, I think him and Vash should have switched roles. I think Vash should have been the preacher, because Vash didn't believe in killing. Anyway, Wolfwood is definitely one of the best characters in this series, and he can be funny and threatening at the same time. That's rare in an anime anymore. Either the character is funny and retarded, or the character is really threatening and he's a badass. Wolfwood was able to combine both elements. Being a trigger-happy preacher to being a drunk. He was drinking in some scenes, and he loved to smoke. Wolfwood was one of the reasons I'd be going to church. And he's definitely one of the most badass characters, Nicholas D. Wolfwood. Number 4, Vicious from Cowboy Bebop. Okay, earlier I complained that in my number 6 spot, Masataka wasn't in enough episodes. Well, Vicious is in only 5 episodes, and 4 of those being 2-parters. So technically, he's in only 3 episodes through the series. I don't know. I'm going to explain why I like him. When I started Cowboy Bebop, the first episode was great. It was a good episode, but then the second episode came out. I was kind of getting bored with it. The third episode, I was kind of pulling my hair out. The fourth episode, I really didn't give a shit for the mouse people that they were trying to protect. Why were there mouse people? I don't know. There's some kind of bounty. Then finally, the 5th episode came out. And by this time, I was like, I don't know, maybe I should skip out on rewatching Bebop. Why did I watch it in the first place? Well, within that episode, my favorite character finally made an appearance. Vicious. He was definitely a huge take on the story. He was incredible. He made the story much darker. Yes, he's a stereotype, I know. Vicious is Julia's lover and Spike's rival, but they were like brothers in the middle of the syndicate. Vicious is definitely the most heartless person on this list. He's cold, ruthless, and he'll kill anyone or anything that gets in his way. You're in his way, you're dead. Vicious is one of the many reasons I kept watching Bebop. But again, I have to complain that he is not in enough of the show. He's only in 5 episodes. And here's a trivia. He's voiced by Mike Guy from Naruto in the English dub.
Goalie!
Exactly. Vicious is one of the many reasons I kept coming back for Bebop. He's my favorite character out of Bebop. And I keep watching Bebop just for him. Number 3. Kagato from Tenchi Muyo. Yes, again, I complained about a character being in limited episodes. But, surprisingly, I'm happy with the amount that Kagato was in. He was only in 3 episodes. He was a scientist, did experiments upon himself, and he was like a type of phantom or something. He was freaking badass. He was the character I wanted to see in all of Tenchi. Mainly, Tenchi focused on being harassed by the women. When Kagato came into play, holy shit, he was a badass. He had the best dialogue I've ever heard. It's like a mix of Cell and Vicious. Holy shit, that's creepy. Anyhow, I mean, he shows up on the show. He's kind of a pervert, too. Hell, he takes Ryoko as his slave. He hates women. In fact, Kagato was a hermaphrodite. He split himself into 2 pieces, as woman and man, and he began his quest on hating women. Although most of the people thought he hated women because of Washu. But no, Kagato had his own reasons for hating women. Kagato was truly one of the most badass characters of the series, and 3 episodes was just enough. The only complaint I have yet again, he should have been in the final act. That was the problem with this series. They put him right at the beginning, the first villain to fight. Well, technically Ryoko was the first villain to fight, but Kagato was more of a threat, because he was actually trying to kill people. But does he count as a villain? Not really. He just wanted power. He wasn't trying to take over the world. He wasn't trying to take over the universe. He just wanted more power. In fact, he got his powers from experimenting on himself and making himself go nuts. He became obsessed with power. So much so, he would have killed anyone that got in his way to get what he wanted. Yeah, he was trying to cause harm to the main characters, but he was possibly the best character of the series. Needing only 3 episodes to flesh out his character, and the best part about him being a villain and all, most villains in anime series, almost any anime series, always go out kind of like this. I'll reenact it for you. Oh no, I don't want to die! Oh! Kagato didn't even go out screaming. No. He went out with a smile. He's just, right at the end, he just pretty much grinned like he was going to come back. And in a way, he kind of did. But Kagato was one of the big main reasons I kept watching Tenchi Muyo. Number 2, Argo Golski from Mobile Fighter G Gundam. And this is going to be a long explanation. A long one. There was a lot of good characters in G Gundam, but honestly, Argo was definitely the one who wasn't fighting for selfish reasons. Argo was a prisoner from Neo-Russia who got put in prison for being a space pirate. But Argo was never the type to kill or hurt anyone. In fact, Argo barely fought for himself. But when he would fight, he would really enjoy a fight. Anyhow, Argo is the best character to me for other reasons. Let's look at some of the other characters before I keep going on. Let's look at Neo Francis George Toussaint. He fought for the honor of his country, which is, I guess in a way, for his family name. Don't really care, he's French. Another one is Sai Saishi. He was just annoying, but he fought to revive the Shaolin Temple. But, God, he was annoying. I don't care if he had the Dragon Gundam. He sucked. Another one, Chibody Crockett, and, in my opinion, the worst freaking character on G Gundam. And you know what the sad thing is? He's supposed to represent Neo-America. Japanese people must think we're assholes. Honestly, they must think we're dicks. Alright, his Gundam was set to look like a football player. Yes, his Gundam had a football helmet on it. What the hell? And when his Gundam would transform, it had boxing gloves. What an asshole. And this guy was a womanizer on top of it. Okay, Chibody Crockett sucks as a character. Then let's look at the main character, Domon Kashu. In a way, he was still fighting for himself. Yes, he wanted to get his father out of the deal, but he also wanted to be proved innocent, so he was only fighting for himself. Now back to my favorite character, Argo. Argo was fighting for his friends and his friends alone, and that alone is way more noble. He knew he wasn't going to get out of prison. He knew he was stuck there for the rest of his life, and he knew if he tried to escape, the bomb on his chest would explode. So, yeah. And another reason I like him, the Bold Gundam is just freaking badass. Argo is just one of the best characters in the series, you know, because of what he fights for. And on top of that, he's like the only character with 2 story arcs. Yeah, he joins Domon to help with his fight against the Dark Gundam, and on top of that, he's trying to get his friend set free while trying to save his own life from Andrew Graham, who believes that he killed his wife. So, his story is definitely the best and most compelling out of the series. Argo was a giving character, and he would not kill anybody. He even gave his chance up to save his own self to save Andrew Graham from dying. That's the kind of person Argo was. He would save somebody from dying, you know, even if they were after his life. And that's way more noble than any of the other characters on G Gundam. Number 1. Oh yeah, I think everyone knows what this one's gonna be. Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Okay, wait! Don't get the fan hate on me here. Don't get pissed off. Everyone calm down. You all knew this was going to be my favorite character. I even mentioned it in an earlier review. Let's start explaining why. Vegeta was the first character I ever saw as an anime character. He was badass. He could kill off anyone. He was brutal. Most people prefer Vegeta from the first season of Dragon Ball Z because he was more of a killer. I like him all the way through. He was a great character, even if his character changed. And yes, Vegeta was truly badass. He was the character that took risks. And he started off the bad guy turning good much later in the series. I think Dragon Ball Z was the first series to start that. And they started off with Vegeta. I know they started off with Piccolo, but it's a different Piccolo, so it don't count. So, thank you. For watching, Vegeta is my number 1 favorite anime. No. No? Who said no? Show yourself.
I did.
You? Oh, yeah, I forgot. We were always back by planning Namex Dragon Balls. Even you. Unless you're another freaking clone. What do you want?
You think Vegeta is supreme?
Yes, he is, actually. He's the best character in the series.
No. Goku is better.
Goku?
Goku is supreme.
A Superman copy?
Goku did not copy Superman. Superman copied Goku.
Look, I'm not going to stand here and argue about this.
Do you want to take it outside, you heathen?
Fine. Outside in the wilderness now. Nobody This is my favorite anime character of all time.
So be it, mate. Best man wins.
You think that Vegeta is not the best character on Dragon Ball Z? You think Goku is? Well, then I shall fight you for Vegeta's honor.
Is that so?
Yes, that is so.
You make a great mistake, my friend.
I make no mistake.
I think you do.
I've already killed you once before for forcing me to review Dragon Ball Z.
You killed me once.
You were just lucky that...
Shit!
Oh. You. I slashed your face. I switched hands right when I needed to.
Ah! Blood makes me stronger.
What? What are you?
I am a monster.
Only a monster?
I created you, and I can destroy you.
No!